Topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the host and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Eat and Critique Show with restaurant critics Steve O and Sophia. Brought to you by one of Steve O and Sophia's favorite Incontro Italian cuisine and steakhouse located on the Walk in Coral Springs. Now, sit back while award-winning restaurant critics Steve O and Sophia share with you the good, the bad, and the ugly in South Florida dining.
You should.
Welcome to another episode of Eat and Critique with my co-hosts Steve O and Sophia. Tonight we have our guest again, Chief Fuller, and we're going to be doing a restaurant review of Le Sorelle, one of our favorite Italian restaurants.
I've had about 20 people email me wanting to know the exact information about the chili cook-off. This is going to be huge, huge. I'm excited.
Hi. So let's welcome our guest, Chief Fuller. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Sophia. Hi, Steve O. How's it going?
Brian, you are going to have
a crowd.
You're going to have a crowd. I don't want to make you nervous or anything, but I'll bet you I've gotten at least in last 2 weeks 30 emails from listeners just wanting to know the exact address, where it was at, what time. A lot of people listening who weren't able to write it down. So this is going to be huge.
So
I agree with you. You know, ever since we were on the show the first week, a few weeks ago for the Eat and Critique TV show, the sales of the tickets for the Chill Cook-Off has soared.
I have a question to ask you about two restaurants. Do you know if they ever contacted to be there? That one was Bud's and the other was El Segundo. They both wanted to do it, and we were just curious.
I would have to check tomorrow. I think I saw an email from Bud's Chicken and Seafood, but I'm not sure.
They've got 4 locations, and their food is really good.
Oh, yeah.
And they were excited about being out there because you really are going to have a great crowd out there, Brian.
We're very excited for the new location and combining the chili cook-offs from the Jupiter cook-off and bringing it down to Green Acres. We're very excited. We can fit 7,000 people, and we're going to
do it.
Yeah, it's a huge venue, beautiful venue for it. The weather is expected to be just incredible. And we have 2 beautiful judges right here in front of us.
Brian's been reading the farmers. He's been reading the Farmer's Almanac.
Lucky he doesn't have a chili tin himself. He's trying to influence us. No. So have you? Are there any other judges that?
There are. Well, you know, I've got great news. Your friend T.A. Walker will be joining you as.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah, T.A. Walker from WPTV5. He'll be doing a Shining a Light segment. We're very excited for that. And a fire chief, a retired fire chief who now does mortgage brokerage and banking for firefighters and stuff. Chris Phelps. He's also got a talk show, and he'll be joining you all. And we've got a couple others in the mix.
Oh, good.
Wonderful. Tell everybody about the event.
I love to. That's what I love to do. It's to talk to everybody about one of the greatest events that we have every year, and that's the Green Acres Fire Rescue Chili Cook-Off. It's we've incorporated with the NAM Nights. They have the Rock and Roll Sunday that's been going on for over 20 years, and we thought, what better thing to do is to join rock and roll, a classic car show, with a chili cook-off. And that's just what we did. And this is our 3rd annual event. And each year the attendees have grown, and it's just become a great event. We have free parking, which I don't know, a lot of places you can go on the weekends and go anywhere to any art exhibit or anything that doesn't charge you parking. There's parking charges everywhere. Free to park. You can listen to the rock band, which is the Southern Blood Band is coming. They've been featured at the South Florida Fair. They're a pretty local band, big band. They bring a lot of people. That's free. You can sit and listen to the music free. There's vendors. There's things to do for the kids. There's food trucks as well. So if you didn't want to spend any money on chili, you could come to the whole event for free. But if you want to taste and have all of the chili you can eat, and there's over 25 teams right now, plenty of chili for you to eat and taste. All you can eat is $20 before the event. It's $25 the day of the event. I don't know where you can spend your money, get that kind of bang for your buck, get all the chili that you can eat, all the rock and roll you can listen to, vendors and car show. Plus, feel good about the proceeds of that $20 going towards local charities, veterans charities, fire department, first responders, all of it. Not $1 is kept. We give it all away.
And that's what I love about it. And then the children, there's a children's price too.
Yes, under 11 is or 11 to 18 years old is $10, and under 11 is free. So bring the family. Great family event. We'll have cold beer, mixed drinks this year is new for us. We hired a company to bring all the adult beverages you like, and we'll have those for you. So mixed drinks, cold beer, all the chili you can eat for $20.
That's amazing.
Rarely do you see anybody just roaming around without chili in their hands. I mean, we've done, this will be our third year, and everybody's walking around with chilies, the little sample cups. So most people do pay the money, which is nothing. I mean, what's $20 to have such a great time? And I'm not trying to get everybody to bring their dogs out there.
I was going to mention that.
You know what? There's a lot of people. I mean, come on out. Just because you have a dog doesn't mean anything.
It's a family event.
It is so cool. And people, it's a great gathering place. I think, Chief, it's a great networking place. People meet new friends out there all the time.
They do, and our sponsors love it. It's a great venue for them to showcase their brands and the bands and just Green Acres is just a place where families and everyone of all ages can have fun. And this show, this place, all you can eat chili, $20, you can't beat it. I don't think you can beat it.
When you said Green Acres is the place, I was thinking it's the place to be.
Yeah.
Farm living.
Okay, that's enough out of you. Can't take her anywhere. Chief, let's mention your sponsors.
That's what I was going to ask.
Our sponsor. So let me go to the sponsors page here, but we'd like to thank Regional Medical Center. Every year, great local hospital that sponsors our event. Zoll Data Systems, they have our EKGs, and Zoll's all over the place. Medical group. We've got Steiger Green and Finer this year, a new sponsor for us. We're very excited about them. Of course, 1-800-BOARD-UP is a company that helps fire victims and persons of disasters and emergencies, and they work really close with the fire department here in Palm Beach County and all the fire departments, and they've been a great sponsor for us for a very long time. 1-800-GOLD-LAW as well. Is one of our big sponsors. They sponsor every year. We got Medical Career Academy, teaches paramedic and nursing as one of local. Hanley Foundation treats first responders for PTSD and mental health issues. And then we have Viking Bags, which is new to us this year. They make motorcycle bags, and they've donated a beautiful, beautiful saddle bag to the event. And of course, there will be a lot of motorcycles and a classic car show there. So somebody's gonna win that in a raffle of Viking bags.
Wow, is there a cost for the raffle, or how's that work?
Yeah, raffle. There'll be raffles. There's a 50-50 raffle that we're doing for charity, and then you can buy raffle tickets and win great prizes. I know there's spas and golf packages and all kinds of gifts and things from local restaurants. And so
I
you
know
can
about
potentially win all your money back, and then the chili's free too.
that.
I guess we got to give out the most important information.
The address, time, and date.
That's right. We're going to be at Samuel J. Ferrari Park, and that's in Green Acres. That'll be March 2nd, and the event is from noon to 5, and it is a fun-filled, packed 5 hours for all ages.
That is the truth.
Okay, Chief, I'm going to ask you a personal question. Now, you're going to be back here with us for at least the next 2 weeks. Are you going to miss being on the show when this is all over with?
Well, I am, but I'm going to enjoy seeing you guys at the Chili Cook-Off, and we're going to have a really good time that day. And this is not it.
Already.
Yeah.
48 tents.
Oh, that's right.
We have a lot more tents this year.
So come on out there and meet us. It's going to be a great, great day. And Chief's already got his farmer's almanac says the weather's going to be good.
It's going to be a beautiful day. I already know. Sunny, nice. It's not going to be hot. It's going to be just perfect.
Oh, yeah, but our tongues are, though. There's some spicy chili out there. But I got to tell you, they've got something for everybody. You know, in fact, some of them even will say, do you want spicy
or mild?
Or mild? And they
Absolutely.
even offer both. So it doesn't matter what you like. And some have it with beans and without beans. You know, it's just.
And they have the condiments on the side, some of them with the jalapeno, the sour cream, cheese, whatever you want to put on it. And the cadets are going to be there again.
They are. That's what I heard. I heard Local 2928 is going to set up their Big Ten, and the cadets will be with them.
Amazing.
And the bagpipers.
Okay,
right?
so Chief's going to be back again with us next week.
Yep.
And we're going to be this is the event that Sophie and I took on. We get so many people requesting for us to do events, and we just kind of picked this one out as our favorite. And as soon as the event's over, we can't wait for the next one.
I love the event because I've done a lot in the community. I've been on the board for a lot of different organizations, and this one actually gives back 100% of the proceeds. And they always have the most wonderful charities that they give to. So we're very pleased, and we thank you for asking us again. We can't wait to see you next week.
It's our honor, and I can't wait to see you as well. We'll have more good news for you next week.
Okay,
Thank you, Chief. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Thanks, my friends.
Oh, it's going to be a great event.
It is a great event.
I know. It's going to be, oh my God, I got to starve myself for 2 days.
I'm more worried about how many tents there are because it was kind of hard last year to finish.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, there's almost double, almost.
Yeah, but at least the size is going to be
it's just one little spoon. We can do it.
So you sent me an article, and
I got to tell Margaret something.
Oh, okay.
Margaret, I know you're listening.
You're getting that embarrassed look on your face.
You are going to love it because it's all you can eat.
Oh my God. First of all, wait a minute. We asked Margaret to go with us everywhere. I mean, everywhere. And we always get turned down. She's got some lame excuse, which is okay. And I thought we were going to have to bribe her this year, which we didn't. And when I heard that her and her friend Carla are going to be going, first of all, I want to wait till she's there. I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch. But this is going to be such a fun event. I know she's going to have a great time.
It is going to be a really nice event. The first year it rained, and it was still fun.
Yeah. Wasn't that bad. It's like a little drizzle.
But everybody still stayed.
Yeah.
It was still crowded. And then the next year it was double. And this year it's going to be quadruple. Anyway.
So you'll meet us, and you're going to meet Sophia's sister and her friend.
Carla.
Okay, so Sophia tonight, she knows that this has really been bothering me about all these restaurants going out of business. And I don't even know if I mentioned this on the last show. I told Sophia about it. There is a long-standing restaurant, was a long-standing restaurant in Coral Springs. It was probably it was really, I wouldn't say the best, but it was good. Italian food. I think it was Trevino's Nana, which is grandmother in Italian. And in fact, what was so cool about it is they had a private room that they decorated to look like I Love Lucy, the old days. It had the old stove in there. It had the checkerboard floors, and it was unbelievable. Old clock, and people would love having their parties in there. And I got to tell you, there was always a waiting list to get in. They went out of business. And the thing was, you're kind of in a crappy shopping center on Sample Road. So I can't believe they went out of business because the landlord raised the rent. But anyway,
I read that restaurants are going out of business for numerous reasons. One, the lease is up.
Okay.
And the prices
Why don't they
have
go
gone
somewhere
up
else? So?
because rents are very expensive now. Thank you, New Yorkers, for moving here and doing that to us. Sorry. Yeah. And two, the prices of food has more than doubled.
Right.
The wages are going up. The insurance is going up. They can't maintain the cost of running a restaurant.
Well, the latest thing is
The immigrants.
the immigrants are afraid to go out. They're afraid they're going to get arrested. So they're not showing up for work. But Sophia sent me an article this afternoon that Denny's, I mean.
How many were there? Like 178?
Yeah.
Something like that, are closing?
Closing down. And, one of the sad things, sometimes I find a kind of a fast food, even being a restaurant critic, there's restaurants that I like. Boston Market. I really loved Boston Market. Every one of them are closed. There's not one Boston Market that's open.
Well, they're saying that it's 178 and it's between 70 and 90 more than they planned to close.
But some of them I don't understand, like Red Lobster. There's a Red Lobster in Coral Springs that, it is just packed in there, packed. And they're shutting down. And I can't believe all the Red Lobsters that are closing down. Now, the reason they gave is that the all-you-can-eat shrimp really hurt them. So stop doing it. Don't offer all-you-can-eat shrimp. And if that's the only reason why people are coming into your restaurant, then you shouldn't be open anyway. But it's really so sad because I know how hard it is to open up a restaurant, to put the hours that these restaurant people do. And, after 20 or 30 years to be closed down is really sad. And I'm sure you probably know of a restaurant you used to go to all the time that shut down, and it's just sad. So anyway, that's my my speech.
So we did a really nice tasting at Le Sorelle restaurant. And unfortunately, the owners couldn't make it. They're really busy. Those guys are packed. And I think
Sophia, I really think
he's embarrassed.
they really have a deep accent. They're very Italian.
No.
Yes. And I really think that, because a lot of times when people have a deep accent, they're afraid to talk on radio or TV.
I really think it's because they're slam packed and they need every bit of their help.
And they just opened up a third
restaurant in Boca. And Marco is the husband of Candace, and he kind of runs the Delray office off of Atlantic, the restaurant. So he's kind of like the one in charge. And you know, the one sister is usually the one that's kind of at both restaurants.
Well, Le Sorelle means sisters, right?
Three sisters. It means three sisters. There's three sisters. I forgot all of their names. I just know the two.
But we started off at the one in Boca on Federal Highway. Remember, the name of the restaurant is Le Sorelle, and it's in a little bitty strip center.
We did the tasting in Delray Beach.
Yes, but we started off by going to the one in Boca, and I got to tell you, it was incredible. So we called them up because we wanted to bring them on the show, and they invited us to the one in Delray. The one in Delray is right next to the movie theater, yes, right off of Atlantic Avenue. And I got to tell you, we started, I think the first time we just had the pizza, and we were blown away. And as many places as we've dined at and had pizza, it's kind of hard to blow us away.
It was really good. It really was. And there is tons of people that are taking out pizza every time we go there. So
Sophie and I really look at her restaurant, a pizza restaurant. We'll sit there and watch the to-go orders, and we'll see how many. There was a restaurant, and again, another sad story, in Boca, in West Boca, called DeVito's. I don't know if any of you all remember that. And it was kind of a family style. The food was amazing. And their pizzas were probably the closest thing to New York pizza that I've ever had. And they would have the boxes stacked up. And by the end of the night, I mean, I was there for a couple hours, all those boxes were gone.
That's likely.
And have to go get more.
Every time we walked in.
Exactly.
And they have 3 locations, one in Delray and 2 in Boca. And the sisters' names are Candida, who is Marco's wife, who is the one that's probably there the most. And then there's Anna, who we also met, and Louisa, but we never met Louisa.
Listen, if it's a female and she has a deep accent, it's probably one of the sisters.
Oh, yeah. They're very good. And they opened a restaurant in New York, which I didn't know because they never told us that.
Right.
So I did some research on them, and they had a very famous restaurant in New York and also in Italy, actually. Wow. That's amazing. And they decided to come to Florida and open an authentic Italian restaurant, and it is authentic. The food there is absolutely delicious. Marco brought us so much food. Do you remember?
I remember that. They just kept
coming and coming and
coming.
They were
we did it on a Friday night, which we normally don't do.
No.
But I felt so bad. It was almost, I remember you and I wanted to get out of there because
Yes.
we felt so bad. They were so busy, and
He wouldn't let us.
he wouldn't let us go. He kept bringing more food out, and I think Rebel has some pictures.
Rebel has some pictures. They have entertainment too.
Yes.
They have a gentleman that sings Italian songs and he goes around the restaurant. I find it, at least the one in Delray, I find it that was one of my romantic restaurants.
I could see that being a romantic restaurant.
It is a perfect date restaurant. And we started out.
Did you say gay?
Date.
Oh.
We started out with, they had homemade bread, remember?
Yes.
And then, oh my gosh, he brought us so much food, I couldn't even.
Well, remember he brought us the olive oil?
The olive oil, he has they make it in Italy. They own an olive farm and they make their own olive oil. They
gave you a bottle of it.
I know. Thank you, Marco.
Did you use it?
I did. It was the best olive oil I could find here.
And they were so sweet that Sophia kept trying to pay them. And, no, we don't want it. And it's rather expensive, isn't it?
I don't remember what the cost was. That's the calamari. That is the burrata. Do you remember he was calling it something in Italian? It had
I couldn't understand him.
Remember, there were baby balls inside of there. Remember when we opened it, there were little mozzarella balls inside.
What is this right here?
That was the scallops. That's our dessert. Oh my gosh, he brought us so much dessert. That was the scallops. Those were so sweet. And I'm not a big scallop person. They were perfectly seared. That's the salt brined branzino. Remember?
They prepare this at your table. They literally come to your table to prepare this, and the owner actually does it himself.
Mm-hmm. Marco did it. We have a picture of Marco at our table somewhere.
Yeah. And it was the best branzino I've ever had.
It was very fresh, very moist. It melted in your mouth. And I love branzino. That's like my favorite fish.
And listen, they're a little
more pictures, I think.
They're a little on the high side, but not like crazy. Not like, you're not going to be able to pay your rent that month. It's really, I guess for Italian, there's so many Italian restaurants in Boca and in Delray. They're not at the very top price-wise, probably about a little bit higher than medium price. But the food is so good that when you leave, you've had such a dining experience.
The wait staff is very attentive. We were watching them at every table. They didn't have to wait for anybody to come to the table. They were filling. The big peeve of mine is my water glass to be filled.
Exactly.
They were attentive to every single table, and it was packed. It was literally, there were
and it's still that way because we've actually gone back several times, and it was just too
crowded.
Busy. Yeah,
too crowded.
There was no parking left. They have valet for all their locations. The third one they just opened is in Meisner.
Mm-hmm.
It's where Tansy's used to be. They're right next to the movie theater.
The movie theater in Boca?
Uh-huh.
I don't remember the theater there.
Yeah, the new one. This is their new.
Right.
They took over where Tansy's was.
Okay.
And Tansy's was right next to this beautiful theater, kind of like.
I thought they were in that.
No.
We saw it.
No, there's two theaters there, right?
No, I didn't know that. Okay.
There's one that's basically on Federal, and the other one is on one of those side streets in Meister Park.
Meisner, yeah.
This is the one that's in the side street. It's a state-of-the-art theater. And are we getting something about the show?
Yeah.
That's usually what it is.
Sorry, guys.
Did
I'm
we
getting
say something
text.
wrong?
No, they're
Okay.
asking where it is.
So Tansy's opened up a restaurant, an Italian restaurant, and this theater with all the big, huge, screens, the seats that recline, everything. And it was such a great concept. But Tansy's food was, on a 10 scale, was probably about a 4.5. I've had much worse, but it was about a 4.5. And they finally closed their doors. But the theater stayed open. But, and Les Sorelle took over their location.
And that shows how well they're doing for them to be opening a third restaurant. And you're talking about
Especially that
restaurants
close.
closing.
Especially that close.
Yeah, they aren't that far away from
No.
each other.
They're like, I'm telling you, maybe 5 miles away from their other Boca restaurant. And it's funny because their location in Delray is right next door to that huge theater in Delray. They're right. It's funny. There was a restaurant there. I don't know. We've had people who've been listening to our show for a long time. There was a restaurant there called, oh gosh, this is going to
remember the name.
It was an Italian restaurant. This is really a cute story. I want to say it was called Nick's. It was kind of a Greek name, but it was Italian. And they were on, I want to say 5th Street, right off Atlantic Avenue. You couldn't miss it because they had these big glaring lights, and it was like a half a block off of Atlantic Avenue. Their food was so good. It became one of my favorite Italian restaurants. And my story is, the second time I was there, the owner chased me to the parking lot.
Why?
He had 20 fake Louis Vuitton bags.
Oh, I remember.
On his arm.
That. Oh my God.
And he had about 20 fake Rolex watches. And he said, would you like to buy, I didn't want to do it in there. Would you like to buy a knockoff Rolex or a Gucci bag? I couldn't believe, here's this restaurant. And it turned out that he was more concerned with his jewelry business and his purse business, and he ended up going to jail.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I don't know why. So the restaurant closed down, but the food was so good there, and he never promoted it, ever. I mean, the biggest promotion he had was when I came in there to do a tasting, and they got like 30 reservations the next day, and he wasn't used to it because he wasn't staffed up for it.
That's funny.
So they took over that location.
I remember a
Les Sorelle.
restaurant there. I remember you telling me that you went there and he chased you out like
I
that.
couldn't believe trying to sell me. It's
I
like,
wonder if Marco's gonna do it.
I don't know.
Anyway, Revel does have some pictures of the inside of Les Sorelle so that you can see how beautiful it is.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
It is.
restaurant.
And then there's
the menu.
That's the calamari. And that's the burrata with the little olive oil, their olive oil, and the baby balls inside. There's Marco. See, he just finished cooking the branzino on the fire next to us. And he was cleaning it. Oops, that's me eating dessert. I don't even remember.
We didn't really, we had no room for dessert,
No,
but he made us.
There's the scallops. And then there's the salt crusted branzino that they bring. Oh, there's one more picture of the inside. Oh well.
I didn't send a lot of pictures.
No, you sent the inside, just the one. It's fine. And again, they're in Delray Beach in 2 locations in Boca. And if you want a romantic place for a nice evening with your wife or girlfriend, or any first date or anything, you want to impress some woman, take them there.
Well, there's one other reason.
And the food's delicious.
If you're like, you guys know this.
Uh-oh.
If you guys are like in trouble with your wife or girlfriend and you want to really do something nice for them, take them to Sorelle.
I agree.
You'll be out of the doghouse, I promise you.
I agree with that. It's probably one, I know I'm not supposed to say this, but
You're going to say it anyway.
Say it anyway. It is probably one of my most favorite restaurants. It really is. Just everything. I took my friend Kari there for her birthday. She loved it. So, I mean, it's fun. It's lively. The bartender's hilarious. Do you remember?
Yes, I remember.
He was playing games with everyone, and they had that thing that, what was it, in the back with the TV where they were doing goofy things with the patrons.
I think there were games they were playing on the TV.
Remember, it was with their face in it.
Yeah, that's right.
They got their face in the
that
game.
Was funny.
It's just,
but it's really wonderful. And, and we're talking Italian food.
Oh, and the pasta is all homemade. We forgot to tell them that. It is authentic homemade pasta. It's delicious.
You know, I got to tell you, there's so many great Italian restaurants in Boca and in Delray. Another one of our favorites in Boca, I've got to say this because
Reno's.
He's a good friend of the show, is Reno's. Now, the only thing is, it might turn you off about Reno's. It is the hottest place in town.
Right.
You got to have reservations.
Weeks in advance.
you got to have reservations. But I got to tell you, if you get in, just got to call. Don't wait a couple days before. But I am telling you, Reno, who is usually there,
he's there all the time,
and he's a ham. But his family's had a great Italian restaurant in New York, very well known.
Angelo's.
Yes, and he brought all those recipes to Boca. And I got to tell you, he knows the restaurant business. He takes care of his customers. And the dishes, he's got a very lean menu. There's not like a lot of things on there.
No.
They have some of the greatest Italian dishes. And again, the prices are probably 2 people. I don't drink, so I don't really know. But I would say probably tipping everything $100 for 2 people if you don't drink. There is valet right out front. But I got to tell you, the place is hopping, and it's a little difficult to get into, but just make reservations. They'll take care of you. Reno, for all you women who are listening right now, Reno was on New Jersey Housewives. His wife and her twin sister were both on New Jersey Housewives. So Reno was on there all the time. And I I don't know why they're no longer on there anymore, but they moved to Boca.
Mhm.
So, but either one, Le Sorelle, Reno's, these are all great, great Italian restaurants. And just for future coming up, um, we are going to be doing a lot of restaurants on Las Olas. There are so many new restaurants that have opened up over there. And I hope it's going to become crowded again.
One of the listeners just texted me to bring up the pizza again at Le Sorelle to ask about the pizzas. But
It's New York pizza. It's kind of, I would say it's almost deep dish pizza. But anyway, it's their pizza is wonderful. But Sophia and I are going to be doing a lot of restaurants in Las Olas. One of our favorite restaurants is on Las Olas, but it's away from everything.
Chima's.
Brazilian Steakhouse. If you've never dined at Brazilian at Chima's, I'm telling you, do it once in a lifetime. Before you leave this earth, I tell everybody they've got to go to Chima's. It is, Sophie and I went there. I believe it was your first time, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And you fell in love with it.
I did.
And Sophia's not a big meat eater.
No.
And you better love meat when you go there because they bring out 12 different cuts of beef.
You better not eat the salad bar like I did.
Yeah, you know what? We've been back there so many times.
I prefer veggies, you know that.
I know.
So I like really filled up, but
so Sophia always knowing that the salad bar is kind of a be careful. It's the most wonderful salad bar.
The good thing about it is they don't have just meat. They have shrimp too.
Right.
And they have salmon. They had lobster.
They do
I don't know
barbecue
if they're
ribs.
doing the lobster anymore. I don't know if that's still going on. So
they just keep bringing the food out to
the
you.
pineapple.
Yeah, I mean, even part of the entree is it grilled pineapple? Or fried? It's not fried.
It's grilled with cinnamon.
Yeah. Oh my God. I don't love pineapple, but the way, Sophia does, but the way they prepare it, I always ask for seconds and thirds. They just keep coming to your table. Now, a lot of Brazilian restaurants will do that. Like my son took me to one of the top Brazilian restaurant, I think it was Texas Day Brazil, who is now out of business.
I heard, yes, I was just getting ready to say that.
But he took me there and they had 6 different cuts of beef. That's it. The salad bar was nothing near. But Chima's has 12 just beef selections. It's all for one price. And then they do you get shrimp. They do like a bacon wrapped chicken. They do, they've had swordfish there before.
They do salmon.
They
had that lobster special on Thursdays, I think it was. I don't know if that's still happening.
But, usually like a buffet, there's nothing like, it's just a lot of food. This is not even,
actually,
I wouldn't even call this a buffet.
Actually, that's another restaurant if you want to really impress someone, because the outside with all the lights and it's like a garden. It's absolutely
it's like almost like a rainforest.
Magical.
Yeah.
It's magical.
It's Sophie and I will go out there and if we can still have room for dessert, which is really tough.
And watch the game.
And we took both of Sophia's sisters there and they loved it. it's called Chima's Brazilian Steakhouse. It's on Las Olas, but the great part about it is it's down like closer to the ocean.
Yes.
So you're away from all that traffic. They have valet parking right out front. And oh my God, it is the greatest experience.
That's another one you need reservations for.
Yes.
You can't just,
especially the weekends.
right.
Monday through Thursday, it's not so bad. But you know what? I got to tell you something. And I'm telling you, this place is unbelievably great. But they just closed up their restaurant in Philadelphia that had been there for a long time. Really sad. They also have one in Orlando, and I think Tampa also. But if you want to do yourself a favor, that is a great place.
If you want to do yourself a favor, go to our website.
Tell people that, Sophia.
www.eatandcritiquetvshow.com and subscribe to our YouTube, please. The link is found on the home page of our webpage. It's at the bottom. Please subscribe. We have actually on the webpage, we have a list of our favorite restaurants. The restaurants that are actually on the website are restaurants that we recommend. We do not put restaurants on there of all the tastings we've done, and we've done a lot of tastings. These are the restaurants that we would want you to try. And you wouldn't waste your money trying them either.
Well, you and I have done 48 shows.
Whoa.
So that's at least 48 tastings.
At least.
Yes. One of these days, we're going to have to figure out how to email our great producer, Rebel, some of this food. I'm sure we drive her crazy. She's the one who puts all the pictures up and makes the show work. So don't forget about the chili cook-off.
March 2nd.
2nd.
I think. Sunday.
And
it starts at noon, actually. Noon to 5. I think the chief forgot to say the time. And it's family oriented. Bring your family, bring your dogs. Some people bring their cats. Some cats are on leashes. Did you see that one guy holding the cat and the cat wasn't even afraid? Could you see if I brought my cats there?
Oh my God.
I don't know how they did that, but it is a nice family event to attend.
No, it is. Hell, we're going to be there.
Yeah, you have to come meet us. And thank you for listening.
We'll wear name tags so you'll know which one is Steve O and which one is Sophia.
I'll just put a hat on.
You don't have to do that.
And thank you for listening to us tonight. Again, if you want to call in, the number it's kind of late now, but everything's on our webpage, our email address, our phone number, anything. If you guys have a restaurant you want to recommend, let us know and we'll be glad to contact them.
I guess that's it for us. We'll be back next week.
Why does it go so fast?
Always. Always.
Thank you for listening. See you next week.
Thank you, Rebel.
Thank you, Rebel. Night.
You've been listening to the Eat and Critique Show with your hosts, award-winning restaurant critics, Steve O and Sophia, brought to you by Incontro Italian Cuisine and Steakhouse, located in Coral Springs on the Walk. Be sure to join us again next week as Steve O and Sophia interview top local restaurant owners and chefs. Steve O and Sophia are known for their pure honesty when it comes to reviewing local restaurants. See you next week.